guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last few days we have had no water. We had a huge water break in like the main line in our city, so we have been without water. I had to go buy tons of like gallon jugs so we could be able to flush the toilets in the house. It has been crazy, but the water is back on, thank goodness. So now it's time to get caught up on the dishes, the laundry, the cleaning. Like, I really couldn't do too much while there was no water, so today is the day. We're gonna get caught up on some stuff, especially some laundry. I just came back from my girls trip. If you guys want to see that vlog, I will put it up in the cards for y'all. But because of the trip and just me being gone for 4 days, I am so backed up with laundry. So we're gonna get right into it. So I hope you guys are ready for some serious cleaning motivation, laundry, deep cleaning, all the good stuff. So let's go ahead and jump right into it.
I was looking like a fool when I met ya, all covered up in the
I could not believe that as soon as I come back from my girls trip, I would come home to no water. Like, I could not believe it. We seriously were so far behind on laundry, you guys. I can't even explain to you. My husband did not do a single thing of laundry the entire time I was gone. So you can imagine how much clothes I had. Plus, if you guys did watch my vlog, you would know that all of my stuff in my suitcase was drenched in shampoo. So immediately when I got home, I was like, oh, I want to get all of my laundry done because it's covered in shampoo. And I couldn't because we didn't have any water. So that really stunk. I had to leave my clothes sitting in shampoo for a couple more days, but it's finally that time. We can get the laundry done and the cleaning done. We really were just kind of doing, you know, like the bare minimum, tidying up and picking up. I really couldn't like wipe down the countertops like I typically like to do. I usually use a wet towel and spray, so it just wasn't the same. But needless to say, I am super thankful to have our water back on. It was quite gross spending a few days without, you know, being able to flush our toilets. I was really thankful that I was able to find water jugs when I went to HEB. The first day this water outage happened, I was in Sam's Club and I didn't really know about it. Like, I figured our water line got hit because our water pressure was super low. Like, when I would turn on the water, it was just like a small little drizzle. And we've actually had this happen to us a few times. Construction workers hit the pipes and the water would go down for about half of a day. So I just assumed like, oh, somebody hit a pipe, it's gonna come back on in a couple hours. Boy, was I wrong. Everybody was panic buying at Sam's Club. People had buggies like stacked to the top full of water. And I was like, what's going on? Like, why is everybody freaking out? I had no idea that it was the main water line that had a major, like, I guess it cracked or something just from old age. But I didn't realize it was as serious as it was because I would have bought more water. I only bought 2 cases because I was like, okay, clearly everyone's freaking out. Maybe I should grab an extra one. So I bought 2, but that wasn't enough water to actually flush toilets because you basically need an entire gallon jug to flush your toilet one time. So I ended up buying big gallons of water the second day. That way we could flush our toilets because it was getting stinky in the house. But as you can see, we're starting off in the kitchen. I do have the laundry going because that was definitely something like at the very top of my list of things to do. But then I wanted to go ahead and get these dishes done. We ended up running them finally this morning when the water came back on. But as you can see, we had so many dishes piled up because we just couldn't wash them at all. So I picked all the dishes up that got washed from the morning and unloaded it. Now we're refilling it back up and we're gonna get it running again because yeah, we just had so many dirty dishes from the last 3 days, which was another reason why I had to go to H-E-B, not only for the water, but I was like, I have to buy some paper plates and plastic utensils because we had nothing to eat on. After everything was dirty, I was like, okay, well, I guess I have to go to the store because we can't eat on our dirty dishes. So I ended up buying paper plates and stuff. That's usually not something I keep on hand. I try not to use those just because I do think it's pretty wasteful. So I try not to buy them, but in this situation, I definitely needed them.
He's a vagabond, he won't love you better. I can watch you sinking down on the battleship. So come to 10, then again, Mississippi. You've been crying over him for a lifetime. So if you don't mind, we will dance till it's way past sleep. Another course that we can fly with the baseline. Boys be boys, ain't no excuse, babe. Now hey you, oh hey you, I know you can find someone better. Oh hey you, oh hey you.
I'd love to know how y'all's summer is going so far. How are you holding up if you have kids home during summertime, if you're a stay-at-home mom? I have been feeling like I am so far behind on my housework. I feel like the house is always messy. I don't know. It's like I'm cleaning and then I turn around and it doesn't even look like it. I just feel like I haven't been able to keep up recently. I don't know, especially like my 3 younger kids, they are constantly like horse playing, running around, tearing up the house. So I've been on the struggle bus. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like my house has been super messy, like the messiest that it's ever really been. But I keep reminding myself this is just a season of life. The kids are having fun, but it's definitely hard because if you guys are like me, I really do enjoy a clean house, and like clutter gives me anxiety. So I'm trying to like be more relaxed about it, but it's definitely tough for me. The kids have been pitching in a lot more though. Now that they're on their summer break, I told them like, hey, you can do more chores around the house now. You don't have schoolwork, you don't have homework, so the least you can do is help your mom around the house. So they have been helping me out, which I am really thankful for, because I'm telling you, sometimes it just feels so overwhelming with all the kids just like completely destroying the house all at once. And especially if I try to like sit down and edit my videos or like just get any of my work done for YouTube, I swear that's the time where like I look up and I'm like, what happened? Like the house is destroyed.
Get all those cold eyes cold looking. Saying bye bye bye. I don't wanna talk before the moment slowly slips away. Get a little dirty, baby. Nothing you ain't gonna take, yeah. Fire burning like I do under my tattoos. Just a remedy, remedy, remedy. Yeah. And the way you go, baby, don't you know? There's a remedy, remedy, remedy. Yeah.
It was so funny. My husband, whenever I was gone in Key West, he was like, yeah, every time I would do the dishes with my smiley face sponge, he said it would make him think of me. I guess just like the smiley face. I was like, oh, that's too cute. But I've seriously been obsessed with these Scrub Daddy sponges. They are my favorite. I just love them. I don't know. I just feel like they're easy to grip onto, and I don't know, something cute about a smiling sponge whenever you're doing your dishes. But I do think mine is getting pretty worn out. I think it's about that time that I get another one, so I'm gonna be picking up a new one here soon.
For you, baby, love. Yeah, yeah. Hot for you, baby, love. Hot for you, baby, love. Hot for you, baby, love.
Now we're heading into the living room. I just had tons of clutter everywhere, as you guys can tell. It was just messy on the table, so we're going to quickly clear up all the clutter. We're going to vacuum in here and get it nice and clean, which definitely was another thing that was driving me nuts between all of the water bottles, Gatorade bottles, because you know, that's what we've been drinking out of for the last few days. We had bottles everywhere. It is so sweet. Every time I'm doing laundry, Ethan gets so excited. He wants to help me like load it up, put the beads in. It is just the sweetest thing. So hopefully he continues loving to help me do laundry, because the other kids, they are dreading it. I keep telling them, I'm like, pretty soon you're going to start doing laundry. And especially my oldest, she's like, no. I was making them fold laundry for a while, but oh my gosh, you guys, the clothes, they were just so wrinkled and like folded all crazy. Even though I would show them the correct way to fold clothes, it was just like, you know, they wanted to rush and get through it. So we ended up taking that chore off of the list for a bit, but I told my oldest, I'm like, look, you're gonna be doing it here soon because mama needs help. Y'all dirty way too much laundry. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I went to go start the vacuum. Ethan was pressing buttons on the vacuum, so when I went to pull it back, the whole handle came off because he had pressed like the release button. So yeah, that's why my vacuum fell apart when I was trying to start vacuuming. This area always gets really dusty just with all the electronics and stuff. I guess it just attracts that dust. So I try to get in here at least, you know, like once a month or so to dust it. I am not the best at dusting. Dusting is like probably my least favorite thing to do. So I'm usually putting it off and waiting until it's like really bad and obvious before I do it. So this day I was noticing quite the collection of dust, so I was like, let me get in here, wipe it down a little bit so it's not so noticeable. Now we're heading to the little dining room nook area. I just wanted to wipe the table down. There was a lot of little sticky fingerprints on there, and these chairs were really disgusting as well, so I needed to wipe those down too.
Try to find myself again, but life is one big riddle of the future and what's been. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go. Look to the left, look to the right. Nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm alone. I got it, I gotta go, running to better times. Go.
By the time I got my entire downstairs basically cleaned up, the laundry was finally done, so I could start folding and getting some of this put away. And after I get done doing the laundry, I am going to be sharing a super delicious and healthy recipe with you guys. Y'all have been enjoying these recipes, so I wanted to include another one. Let me know if there's anything else you would like to see throughout my cleaning videos. I'd love to throw, different stuff in every once in a while, so let me know what you guys like, and if you're enjoying these recipes, make sure you let me know down in the comments and give this video a thumbs up. That way I know y'all are enjoying it, so I keep creating content just like this.
'Cause it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go. Look to the left, look to the right. Nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm alone. I got it, I gotta.
So as y'all know, I've been using the dryer balls for quite some time now, trying to cut back from using the fabric sheets just because I heard there are a lot of chemicals in them. But I was curious, do you guys know, am I supposed to replace the dryer balls like every few months, or are they good for forever? Because I have no idea. I mean, I have like 6 of them. I ended up buying a second pack just because sometimes when I pull the laundry out, they like get mixed in there and then I can't find some of them. So I went ahead and bought an extra pack. That way, at least I have 2 to 3 in the dryer, even if I can't find some. But let me know if I'm supposed to replace them like every few months or so.
In the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff.
So I thought I would share tonight's recipe with you guys. It's going to be a delicious Italian sausage white bean soup. So for this recipe, you're going to need, of course, ground sausage. It calls for Italian sausage. I don't have any on hand. I have deer sausage. So I'm just going to be adding in some Italian seasoning to make it Italian. And then you're going to need 1 onion, a few slices of bacon, some spinach. It calls for fresh. All I have is frozen, so I'm going to work with what I got. I'm adding extra carrots in. It calls for 2 carrots. I'm going to use 5. And then 4 things of white beans. I only have 2 cans of white, so I'm going to also use this chili mix beans plus some black beans. And I mean, beans all taste really delicious, so I'm sure it doesn't matter. So just use whatever beans you have on hand, but the recipe calls for white beans. And then as for seasonings, we're going to be using Italian, rosemary, salt, pepper, garlic, and then of course you're going to need some chicken broth. So that is everything you need for this recipe. Let's go ahead and get cooking. This recipe was super simple and really delicious. Everyone in the family loved it, which was surprising because my kids typically don't like beans. But to get started with this, you're going to cook your sausage and your bacon together. You want to cut up your bacon into small little bite-sized pieces. And once that is fully cooked, you're going to remove them from the pan. But like I told you guys, I didn't have Italian sausage, so while it was cooking, I went ahead and just added a bunch of Italian seasoning to give it that really good taste. And while that is cooking on the stovetop, you can go ahead and cut up your veggies. So I went ahead and sliced up my carrots pretty thin. I wanted to make sure they were thin, that way they would cook faster. since obviously it's going to be on the stovetop, so I wanted to make sure they were thin enough to cook quickly. And then you're also going to dice up your onions, keeping them separate because you are going to be browning your onions first.
Sweet baby. The pieces back together.
Once the meat is done, you're going to set it aside. And you guys, I've already said this before, I'm like the messiest cook ever. I was trying to do it with one hand, but the pot was kind of heavy, so I was making a mess. But go ahead, set aside your meat, and then you're going to throw your onions on the pan, cook them down in some of that leftover grease and fat that was on the pan. And then while that's cooking, I went ahead and mixed up my chicken broth because mine was like a paste. So once your onions are nice and cooked down, you're going to add in the garlic, the minced garlic. You're going to saute that together for 30 seconds to a minute, and then once it's smelling really fragrant, you're going to go ahead and add in your chicken broth. And the recipe said to wait to add the carrots, but I was really worried they weren't going to cook fast enough, so I went ahead and added them in right now, and it seemed to work out really well. So I put my carrots in there, I drained and rinsed my beans, threw my beans in, and you're going to let this simmer for at least a good 15 minutes or so. You're going to season it with the rosemary, and I added some extra Italian, but you're going to let this cook for a bit. I tried to wait until my carrots were like a little over halfway done cooking, and then you're going to pull out some of the beans. I was trying not to get the carrots, but you know, some got mixed in there. So you want to pull out some of the beans, mash them up really well, or if you have a purifier, you can purify them. I didn't want to dirty all that, so I'm just using my little meat smasher to mash my beans. And you just want to have enough mashed up, that way it can thicken up your juice so it's not super runny. So once you add in the mashed beans, you can go ahead and also add in the meat. And then you're going to let this simmer for about 10 more minutes or so, just until your carrots are fully cooked. And then it is completely done. And you guys, this was seriously so good. Definitely try it out. Let me know if you do. I will have the full recipe down in the description off of Pinterest, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Bye!